If you're over 60, there's something your doctor probably hasn't told you, and it's hiding right in your fridge. Certain cheeses that seem totally harmless, even gourmet, could be quietly raising your risk of heart disease by up to 40%. That's not just a scare tactic, it's backed by actual research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. These so-called everyday cheeses are loaded with saturated fats that can clog your arteries, spike your blood pressure, and even trigger what doctors call transient ischemic attacks, mini strokes that often go unnoticed until it's too late. And it doesn't stop at heart health. Some of these cheeses can fuel inflammation, mess with your blood sugar, and even speed up cognitive decline. Shocking, right? Something as innocent as a grilled cheese sandwich could actually be a health time bomb, especially for those of us whose bodies don't handle fat and sodium like they used to. But here's the part that really blew my mind. There's one cheese in particular that experts now refer to as a stroke on a plate. Yes, it's that serious. And chances are you've eaten it without ever realizing the damage it could be doing. Don't worry, though. Not all cheeses are bad. In fact, some can be powerful allies when it comes to protecting your brain, gut, bones, and overall longevity. So stick with me, because I'm about to reveal the 4 cheeses you should be eating after 60, and the 5 that you need to cut out immediately. Before we dive in, tell me where you're watching from in the comments. And if you care about your health as much as I do, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this one. Let's get started. Mozzarella cheese. Now, before you write it off as boring, mozzarella, the fresh kind, not the pre-shredded stuff in plastic bags, is actually one of the smartest cheeses you can eat after 60. Especially if it's buffalo mozzarella, which is made from water buffalo milk and crafted using just a few clean ingredients: milk, salt, cultures, and rennet. No fillers, no junk. Here's why that matters. This version of mozzarella is low in sodium, rich in high-quality protein, and contains far less saturated fat than most other cheeses. In fact, a 2022 study from the European Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who ate low-salt, fresh cheeses like mozzarella experienced better vascular flexibility and fewer arthritis flare-ups. That's likely thanks to its stellar calcium-to-sodium ratio and its natural anti-inflammatory compounds. And if you struggle with digestion, you're in luck. Fresh mozzarella has less lactose than many other cheeses, making it easier on your gut. Plus, it's loaded with essential minerals like calcium, phosphorus, selenium, and zinc, not to mention higher levels of vitamin A and powerful antioxidants, especially in buffalo milk. Here's where it gets even better. Mozzarella is one of the few cheeses that naturally contains bioactive peptides. These are formed during fermentation and have been shown to lower blood pressure. It also has a generous dose of conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, a fatty acid that helps reduce inflammation and boost fat metabolism. That's a huge win if you're dealing with joint pain or metabolic slowdown. And let's not forget, mozzarella is crazy versatile. You can toss it in a salad, melt it over grilled veggies, or pair it with tomatoes, basil, and olive oil for a simple, satisfying snack. It's light but filling, flavorful, but not overpowering. So if you're looking for a cheese that supports your bones, your heart, and your immune system without causing bloating or blood pressure spikes, fresh mozzarella might just be your new best friend. Ricotta cheese. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked but powerful cheeses for people over 60. Ricotta. At first glance, it might seem simple or even bland, but don't let that fool you. This soft, white cheese made from leftover whey, the nutrient-rich liquid that separates from curds during cheese making, delivers an impressive punch when it comes to senior health. One of the biggest reasons ricotta is ideal for older adults is its high protein content combined with a naturally low sodium profile. That's a rare and valuable combo, especially for people who are monitoring their blood pressure or trying to preserve muscle without stressing their cardiovascular system. Protein is essential after 60, not just for energy, but for fighting off the natural decline in muscle mass, which accelerates with age and affects everything from balance to metabolism. What really makes ricotta stand out for seniors, though, is how easily digestible it is. Unlike many aged or heavily processed cheeses, ricotta is soft, fresh, and low in lactose, making it much less likely to cause bloating, discomfort, or digestive issues, even for those who've become more sensitive over time. And since aging tends to slow digestion and weaken the gut lining, that gentleness matters more than ever. Now let's talk bone support, a critical factor after 60, especially for postmenopausal women and men dealing with gradual bone density loss. Ricotta is rich in calcium and phosphorus, two minerals that work in tandem to maintain strong, resilient bones and reduce the risk of fractures. It also contains vitamin A, which helps regulate bone growth and supports immune function, another key concern as we age and our immune systems naturally weaken. But there's more. Ricotta's whey-based proteins are especially beneficial because they contain a high concentration of essential amino acids, the building blocks your body needs but can't produce on its own. These amino acids support not only muscle repair and maintenance, but also contribute to better wound healing, improved metabolic function, and even immune defense, all of which become increasingly important in your 60s and beyond. And let's not forget its versatility. Ricotta isn't just healthy, it's adaptable and easy to incorporate into daily meals. You can spread it on whole grain toast in the morning for a blood sugar-friendly breakfast, mix it into pasta or vegetable dishes for a creamy texture without the saturated fat overload, or even blend it into smoothies for an extra dose of protein and nutrients without adding digestive strain. Feta cheese. This one might catch you off guard. Feta? Yes, the crumbly, salty cheese often found in Mediterranean dishes actually deserves a top spot on the list of cheeses that are good for people over 60. It's not just flavorful, it's surprisingly supportive of aging bodies when eaten in moderation. What sets feta apart is its origin. It's traditionally made from sheep's milk, or sometimes a mix of sheep and goat milk, which makes it naturally lower in lactose and easier to digest. A major plus if you've noticed dairy doesn't sit as well as it used to. As we age, our ability to break down certain proteins and sugars, especially those found in cow's milk, often declines. Feta sidesteps that issue entirely. From a nutritional standpoint, feta is packed with the essentials. It delivers a solid dose of calcium, which is critical for keeping bones strong and reducing the risk of osteoporosis. Add to that vitamin B12 and protein, and you've got a trifecta that supports neurological function, muscle maintenance, and bone density, all areas that begin to decline naturally after 60. But there's more to it than just vitamins and minerals. One of feta's most valuable contributions for seniors is its content of probiotics, those beneficial bacteria that help maintain a healthy gut. As we age, our microbiome diversity decreases, especially if you're on medications or antibiotics. That decline in gut health can lead to weaker immunity, poor digestion, and even increased inflammation. The probiotics in feta help restore that balance and support immune resilience from the inside out. There's also a practical benefit. Feta's bold, briny flavor naturally limits how much you need to feel satisfied. You don't need to pile it on. A few crumbles can go a long way, which helps with portion control and prevents accidental sodium overload. Speaking of which, if you're watching your salt intake, there's an easy fix. Just rinse the feta before eating. Doing this can cut its sodium content by up to 30% without sacrificing its creamy texture or tangy bite. When it comes to using it, feta is as versatile as it is nutritious. Sprinkle it over roasted vegetables, toss it into a Greek-style salad, or use it as a topping for grilled chicken or whole grains. It adds a satisfying richness and depth without weighing your meals down. So despite its salty reputation, feta can be a nutrient-dense, gut-friendly, and brain-supportive addition to your diet, as long as you keep it in balance and choose high-quality, traditionally made varieties. Goat cheese. If there's one cheese that truly deserves a permanent spot in your fridge after 60, it's goat cheese. This creamy, tangy powerhouse isn't just delicious. It checks nearly every box for what aging bodies need: easy digestion, potent nutrients, anti-inflammatory benefits, and brain protection. Let's start with digestion, because for many people over 60, dairy becomes harder to tolerate. Goat cheese contains lower levels of lactose and less casein, which is the primary protein in cow's milk that often causes bloating, cramping, or discomfort. That makes goat cheese one of the most gut-friendly cheeses out there, gentle on your stomach, easy to absorb, and far less likely to trigger sensitivity. But that's just the beginning. Goat cheese is naturally rich in short and medium-chain fatty acids, which your liver can break down quickly and efficiently. This matters because as metabolism slows with age, our bodies become more prone to fat storage, especially around the midsection. These unique fats in goat cheese are far less likely to be stored as body fat, and they actually help your body burn fat more effectively. A crucial bonus when maintaining a healthy weight becomes more difficult with each passing decade. And then there's what I like to call its hidden healing factor. Goat cheese is packed with zinc and selenium, two essential trace minerals that are often low in older adults. Zinc helps regenerate tissue, speeds up wound healing, and keeps your immune system strong, while selenium plays a vital role in thyroid function and protects your cells from oxidative stress. Goat cheese also supports your brain in some incredible ways. It's a natural source of omega-3 fatty acids, which have been linked to improved memory and reduced cognitive decline. Plus, it contains a unique form of vitamin A that's especially effective at promoting brain function and visual health. In fact, nutrient-rich cheeses like goat cheese are currently being studied for their potential to delay or even prevent Alzheimer's disease. And the early results are promising. Another huge plus? Goat cheese is typically minimally processed. That means no unnecessary additives, artificial ingredients, or chemical preservatives, just pure, whole food nourishment. When you're over 60, the fewer artificial compounds you put in your body, the better, not just for digestion, but for overall inflammation, immune support, and long-term wellness. And when it comes to enjoying it, goat cheese is incredibly versatile. Crumble it over a fresh salad, spread it on whole grain toast, stir it into an omelet, or pair it with roasted vegetables for a flavorful, nutrient-packed meal. It adds depth and creaminess without the weight or health risks of processed cheeses. Bottom line, if you're looking for a cheese that works with your aging body instead of against it, goat cheese is hands down one of the smartest choices you can make. Now that we've covered the best cheeses that can actually support your heart, brain, and bones after 60, let's flip the script, because not all cheeses are your friend. In fact, some popular options can quietly sabotage your health, speeding up inflammation, disrupting digestion, and even increasing your risk of stroke. Here are the 4 cheeses you should avoid at all costs if you're over 60. American cheese. This one might sting a little, especially if you grew up loving grilled cheese sandwiches or cheeseburgers with that familiar yellow slice. But American cheese is one of the worst options you can keep in your fridge after 60. Let's be clear, it's not even real cheese. American cheese is a processed product created by combining a small amount of actual cheese with a cocktail of emulsifiers, artificial colorings, preservatives, and added salt. That's why it melts so perfectly and has that smooth, stretchy texture. It's the result of chemical manipulation, not natural aging or fermentation. The biggest red flag? Sodium. Just a single slice of American cheese can deliver nearly 15% of your recommended daily salt intake, and it adds up fast. For seniors, that's a serious issue. Excess sodium increases your risk of high blood pressure, which in turn raises the chances of stroke, heart attack, and kidney damage, especially in people already dealing with cardiovascular concerns. But the problems don't stop there. American cheese also contains phosphate additives, which are used to preserve texture and shelf life. These may seem harmless, but studies show that phosphates can interfere with calcium absorption, making it harder for your bones to stay strong. That's especially dangerous after 60, when bone density naturally declines, increasing the risk of fractures, osteoporosis, and slow healing. Even more alarming is the link between phosphate additives and arterial calcification, a condition where calcium builds up in the blood vessels instead of your bones, contributing to artery hardening and age-related heart disease. This isn't just theoretical. Research has repeatedly shown this connection, particularly in older adults. And let's not forget gut health, which is directly tied to immunity, inflammation, and even mood. The emulsifiers and artificial additives used to give American cheese its perfect melt can disrupt your gut microbiome, especially in seniors whose digestive systems are already more sensitive due to age or medication use. So while it may be nostalgic, American cheese just isn't worth the health trade-off. There are plenty of cleaner, safer, and tastier cheese options out there, ones that nourish your body instead of working silently against it. Cream cheese. It might seem harmless, soft, spreadable, and perfect on a morning bagel. But cream cheese is a quiet saboteur, especially for anyone over 60. While it looks and tastes gentle, its nutritional profile tells a different story. First, let's talk fat. Cream cheese is high in saturated fat and low in protein, which means it offers very little in terms of lasting nutrition. Instead, it delivers a heavy dose of empty calories that your body is more likely to store as fat, especially in the abdominal area. And here's the kicker. As your metabolism naturally slows with age, those extra calories get stored even faster and burned off much more slowly. Over time, this leads to stubborn weight gain that's hard to reverse and increases your risk of insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. Then there's the bacterial risk. Like brie, cream cheese has a soft texture and high moisture content, making it particularly vulnerable to Listeria contamination, a dangerous bacteria that can be life-threatening for seniors. If left out of the fridge even briefly, like at breakfast spreads, buffets, or office gatherings, its safety quickly becomes questionable. And because Listeria symptoms can mimic fatigue, headaches, or flu-like discomfort, many people don't realize there's a problem until it's too late. But the dangers don't stop there. Flavored cream cheeses, the ones with strawberry, honey walnut, or other mix-ins, often contain added sugars. That sweet taste might feel innocent, but it's doing real damage, raising insulin, fueling inflammation, and increasing belly fat. It turns a high-fat product into a high-fat, high-sugar double threat. And sugar is one of the main drivers of chronic inflammation, which accelerates everything from arthritis to cognitive decline in seniors. So what you're left with is a product that's low in essential nutrients, high in saturated fat, often laced with sugar, and prone to bacterial contamination. That makes cream cheese a triple threat for anyone over 60. And a food that's best replaced with something that nourishes your body rather than quietly undermining it. Brie and other soft-ripened cheeses. It might look elegant on a fancy cheese board, but if you're over 60, brie, along with other soft-ripened cheeses like camembert, may be doing more harm than good. Despite its creamy texture and gourmet reputation, brie poses several health risks that make it a poor choice for seniors. The biggest concern? Bacterial contamination. Brie is a soft cheese made from cow's milk and aged with mold cultures. Its high moisture content and soft texture make it an ideal environment for Listeria monocytogenes, a dangerous bacteria that can cause severe infections, especially in older adults with weakened immune systems. For people over 60, even a mild case of foodborne illness can quickly escalate into something far more serious. And then there's the nutritional profile. While brie is rich and satisfying, it's also high in saturated fat and relatively low in protein. That means it delivers a high calorie load with very little in terms of muscle building or bone-supportive nutrients, not ideal when you're already fighting off age-related loss in muscle mass and bone density. It can also contribute to rising LDL cholesterol, putting added strain on your heart. Many types of brie, especially imported or artisan varieties, are made with unpasteurized milk, which increases the infection risk even further. And because soft cheeses like brie don't undergo the same extended aging process as hard cheeses, they retain more lactose, making them tougher to digest for people with age-related enzyme decline or dairy sensitivity. So while it might seem harmless in small amounts, brie carries more health risks than benefits for seniors. There are safer, more nutritious cheeses out there that can satisfy your cravings without putting your immune system, digestion, or heart health at risk. Blue cheese. It might look sophisticated on a cheese board or crumbled over a salad, but blue cheese is a hidden minefield for anyone over 60. Its bold flavor and marbled mold aren't just for taste, They signal a deeper set of problems that aging bodies are far less equipped to handle. The issue starts with the mold itself. Blue cheese is made using penicillium cultures, which naturally produce compounds like tyramine and histamine during fermentation. In younger people with strong enzyme function, these chemicals are usually broken down without much trouble. But after 60, your enzymatic activity tends to slow down, and that means these compounds can accumulate in your system, causing reactions that range from mild to dangerous. What kind of reactions? Think sudden migraines, spikes in blood pressure, heart palpitations, and even cardiac arrhythmias. In some cases, these symptoms can spiral into what feels like a full-blown emergency. Dizziness, chest tightness, ringing in the ears, or a crushing pressure that many mistake for normal aging or stress, when it's actually a neurovascular overload triggered by something as small as a slice of cheese. And it doesn't end there. Blue cheese is also soft and moist, a perfect breeding ground for listeria, a bacteria especially dangerous for seniors with weakened immune systems. While most healthy adults can fight off mild foodborne bacteria, talk to listeria can lead to sepsis, meningitis, or death in older adults. And because listeria can grow even at refrigerator temperatures, this risk lingers long after you've brought the cheese home. On top of that, blue cheese typically has a very high sodium content, often more than 400 milligrams per ounce, along with a rich cream base in certain varieties. That's a dangerous combo for those trying to manage blood pressure, kidney function, or cardiovascular health. The excess sodium alone can contribute to arterial stiffness, while the saturated fat only worsens plaque, buildup, and inflammation. And here's the thing. Most people don't associate their headaches, digestive issues, or lingering fatigue with their favorite blue cheese wedge. But for many seniors, it becomes a covert cause of chronic, unexplained symptoms. Bottom line, while it might look gourmet, blue cheese quietly works against nearly every system in your aging body, from your brain and heart to your immune defenses. It's a smart one to cross off your shopping list. Parmigiano Reggiano, Real Parmesan. If you're looking for a cheese that's both flavorful and incredibly functional for healthy aging, look no further than Parmigiano Reggiano, the real aged Parmesan from Italy. This isn't the pre-grated shaker can at the back of your pantry. This is a hard-aged cheese that's been matured for 12 to 24 months, and it's one of the most digestive-friendly and nutrient-rich options available for people over 60. Thanks to its long aging process, Parmigiano Reggiano is naturally low in lactose, making it far easier to digest for seniors whose bodies have reduced lactase enzyme activity. And because it's aged and dry, it contains very little moisture, which not only extends its shelf life, but also makes it far less likely to harbor dangerous bacteria like listeria, a key concern for those with weakened immune systems. From a nutritional standpoint, this cheese is a powerhouse. Just a small amount delivers a solid dose of calcium, phosphorus, zinc, and vitamin B12. Nutrients that are essential for maintaining bone density, nerve function, and immune resilience as we age. It's especially helpful for combating osteoporosis, supporting cognitive clarity, and keeping energy levels stable, all of which tend to decline gradually after 60. But it doesn't stop at vitamins and minerals. Parmigiano Reggiano also contains bioactive peptides, natural compounds formed during the fermentation process that may help reduce inflammation, support cardiovascular function, and even enhance brain signaling through a compound called glutamate. Unlike the synthetic glutamates added to processed foods, the natural glutamate in real Parmesan has been linked to neuroprotective effects, which is especially important for older adults concerned about memory loss or cognitive decline. What makes Parmesan particularly senior-friendly is how concentrated it is. A small sprinkle, whether over steamed vegetables, blended into soups, or added to salads, goes a long way in boosting both flavor and nutrition. That means you get the benefits without overloading on sodium or fat and without needing to eat large portions that might upset digestion or throw off your balance of calories. In short, Parmigiano Reggiano offers a rare balance. It's deeply flavorful, easy to digest, safe from harmful bacteria, and packed with senior-specific health benefits. It's one of the few cheeses that supports rather than sabotages your aging body, and it's a delicious way to elevate almost any meal with minimal risk. So here's the truth. Cheese isn't the enemy after 60. In fact, when you make the right choices, it can become one of the most enjoyable and health-boosting parts of your diet. But like so many things in life, it all comes down to knowing the difference. Some cheeses quietly support your bones, brain, heart, and gut, helping you stay strong, sharp, and energized. Others, unfortunately, can speed up inflammation, raise your blood pressure, or disrupt your digestion, all without you realizing it. The key is being intentional, choosing the ones that work with your body, not against it. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these cheeses are already part of your routine? Have you swapped out any of the risky ones for better alternatives? Or are there any you're now planning to try or avoid? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience could help someone else make a better decision too. As always, thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay healthy, and don't forget, what you eat truly can shape how you age.